Buenos dias, Madrid. I'm so happy again to be here. It's always amazing how interactive foreign national greeting us here. Next 2 days I'm gonna sleep most likely, but for now I want to share some news and talk about community, about ecosystem, about Magento itself. Uh, it's not a secret, right? Magento originally was built as open source, and that's how it became popular. And it's even now, within like many years past, new leadership, organization, Adobe recognize how powerful community in Magento. And that's the reason, like I showed this picture, we, all of you, are completely different than anyone else. And it's just proof how vocal community, how strong and how influential it in ecosystem, and over years we just see tremendous amount of input from it. And and for like 8 years, actually 8 years, we were treated like open source and trying to just show code and go our way. And 2.5 years ago, we recognized we need to change something because the power and efforts which community trying to put, we're just not not using it in proper way. We don't have ability to let community to drive these changes. And 2 years ago, we launched this new team. It was a small team called Community Engineering. And entire purpose of this team was, let's start, be friend with our developer community. Let's not only, show our code, but also listen and accept this code, and also have these ideas flow into their engineering stuff. And it started well. So as original idea was, okay, we have community, we have developers, and they have opinion, and they not only have opinion, but they also can do changes, and let's learn how to work, and let's try to accept pull requests, make easy steps. And first year, 2017, we were like tremendously overloaded with pull requests. It was 2,000 something pull requests came during 1 year, which in compare 2016, it was about 0. So it was a huge amount when we like, wow, we need to extend team, we don't have time. Entire team just focusing to talking, communicating, and processes. And we have about 660 developers who step in and say, oh, you accept pull request, let's give it more and more. And we're like, wow, good. And it was a great result. We were like happy. It was announced about 25% of entire code which was delivered in the Magento 2 repository came from community in 2017. And 2018 came, and we're like, wow, that's something we start already, losing, ground how we can manage it. And as you see, it was 3 times more pull requests, 6,000 of those. We have more than 1,000 people create these pull requests, and we have more and more contributors start working communication, create issues, and basically take control in Magento. And by 2018, we calculated, and Magento 2 repository has about 54% of entire new code been delivered through this pull request community. So we started to recognize, oh, it's not only pull requests. There is some new features coming. There is some ideas. We launched new project. We start working with community, and even this year, you see by today, numbers already outgrow last year, and we still have a few months in upfront. So that's how powerful community, and that's how we can distinguish ourselves from any other open source community. And you can tell any open source project and trying to compare. And by the way, one interesting part, in 2018, Magento became #1 PHP repository in GitHub with amount of contributors among all other PHP repos. And it means something. From nowhere, we became on top of everything. And it's keep growing. Like this year, and when we're looking like all this pull request number of contributors, we start digging, is it the same people? So we have the static community, or it's expanded. But this year, what we found about it, by year to day, it's about already 600 new first-time contributors create pull requests. It means we have attract new developers from different framework. Maybe it's the same developers, but they learn how to work within community, how to contribute in it. And again, it's a significant number, 600 during this year, people who first time did everything. And definitely we call it our heroes, right? We have as contributors, and we have like Tushars, Swag Give Up. You see a lot of people going, different events and contributors. And we also have maintainers. So as you realize within group, we cannot only be responsible for merging code. We want community became the one who decide what going to be merged. We want community decide what Magento going to look tomorrow, shape a future. And we start and define top people who do a lot of contribution, who has opinion, who has high quality impact on us. And we promote those to maintainers. We gave them ultimate rights to merge code, ultimate rights, to be representative of Magento ecosystem to Magento ecosystem. And right now we have about 35 community maintainers. These people who free time or work time, and if be honest, I don't know where they can find time, basically process about half of our pull requests. So it's just show how community working and almost independently from Magento. They decide what's going on, they create pull requests, they shape future, and they collaborate with each other. We just helping with the tools. And definitely maintainers, Jason usually mentioned it. And I'm proud to see there is few people who our maintainers, active contributors, became a master. These people who has influence not only in a code level, but also creating meetups, promoting Magento, have some impact in the ecosystem at all. And we always recognize these people every year among these contributors and maintainers. And majority of you and maintainers definitely working in partners, right? And we start launching this community partner contribution program. We're trying to focus partners on benefits. So if developer no benefits being open source contributor, develop with Magento, have impact, we want also partners to recognize this. And we have already 160 partners, and there is only few of them mentioned in this slide who do active contribution, who decide what need to be done and dedicate people during the working time to working on this. And if you're working for a partner who not, it's easy to sign up. There is no entry fees, there is nothing. It's just email to ng.com at Adobe, say, our company wants to be a partner. We have different groups for solution partner and for starters, tech partners. But we're going to guide, we're going to create Slack access. And if you partner in sign agreement, we're going to provide you access to our private repos, including cloud, where you have impact and hands-on on a cloud evolution, how our AC tools works. And it's not only this, right? We're also going to help provide you some promotions. We're going to provide you education coupons. So if we're going to see, there is impact in partners and you as a developers working, we're not, just getting it. We're trying to give something. And again, our marketing support, have discount, tickets on community event. We're going to find out if you want something and you like active in our top contributors, we're going to find a way how, help you to do it. Contribution days, that's events already going, again, 3 years. We started 2017 in March, and it's started growing and growing. We have about 40 events worldwide, everywhere. And it's an amazing place when you, as a developer, as a quality engineer, as a manager, doesn't matter, can come and meet new smart people. And our team, our engineers and architects will join to work with you and educate you if you have questions. And also sit together to create pull requests to show how simple, how you, within like few hours being on site in some event, can create change in Magento, which everyone gonna benefit of. And definitely have beer and wine afterwards. It's part of the contribution day, it's mandatory, I hope. And we have a lot of projects we're working during contribution days. And each time it's growing and growing. Multi-source inventory is the one who started 2 years ago. We have Igor Minayla here, who started this initiative. It's huge projects which involve hundreds of developers, dozens of different partners, and took about 1 year or something to spin up, which was delivered in Magento 2.2, I believe, and 2.3. And right now we have a lot of clients benefiting and say it's like one of the significant changes being done, which allow businesses to execute using multi-inventory, multi-warehouses, business cases. And it was done by developers from community, by partners, by regular developers. It's not Magento even did. We just support this case. We do synchronous import, as Alex Lizun is here going to present later. The guy who also said, like, let's improve this. Import sucks, and everyone admitted. And we start working and create one improvement and another, and it start growing and growing. More contributors join. Dev docs. Again, if you're a developer user, you can help everyone to benefit of improved documentation, and not only developers but also merchant docs right now are open for it. GraphQL, PWA is two big projects right now, recently launched, right? We go in PWA, most our agencies, companies like Forest admit PWA is going to be the thing and only thing there. GraphQL is basically supporting it. GraphQL became, API based, and a lot of community members, developers already involved with it and delivering it. And Adobe stock, which mentioned recently, and I will stop a little bit later, code and standard functional test framework. We have two functional frameworks, so one of them need to be migrated, and again, community members helping because everyone admitted. So all this stuff, being done during this contribution day, you can be involved, learn any of this project, have experience, and also use it in future. PWA I mentioned, we have partners, doing this, and it's like going like trailblazers. These partners start implementing, working with us, provide us feedback, and do PWA Studio improvements. Stock, I will not stop here, but Jason mentioned, it's like another stuff which we just started, and to be honest, we was not sure if it's going to be a successful project, but when we start working, a lot of community members join, and we figure out, I think about 40% of merchants using stock in their media day-to-day updates and sites, and it started going fast, quickly, and we keep involved in it. We're open and transparent in everything. So we start from small pull requests. We publish our backlog in GitHub. So our product roadmap, which we foresee for next couple of years in GitHub, everyone can see and have impact. We have architecture council working on it and provide also online every 2 weeks, I believe, session when they discuss architecture solution, and also community can join this and say like, oh, maybe this. So we have a lot of examples when community developers join to us and provide some ideas which then accommodate together. So we literally trying to make sure Magento as a platform, as a product, open for everyone. Everyone in community has the ability to have impact ideas and be listen, and your voice always valuable for us. To speed up with time. So definitely we want to have high quality for everyone. So we want not only have high quality pull requests, but we also have high quality input and experience from developers working with Magento. We understand it's complex system, require a lot of spin up efforts, and also GitHub issues, for example, right? To create issue, we're trying to follow different standards, and we're trying to also make sure we communicate it well and provide a lot of automation for it. And there's an example how it works when somebody creates an issue and some maintainers want to review. And we have actually quality maintainers and also do a lot of job on sanitizing this backlog because we have a lot of issues every day. But this is one example when somebody create an issue and somebody trying to validate and then say, oh, can you verify if issue has proper format? If it's issue has details and step and can reproduce, and you just click buttons and bot everything gonna do it for you. You don't need to write, assign anything. Everything gonna be done. And definitely one of the complexity is spin up instance, right? If there is particular version like 2.3.2 and you have, I don't know, 2.3.0 installed, you need to spend time, and it's basically taking your time. We already took care, and if you can GitHub, you will go inside, write, hey Magento, give me instance of Magento 2. Blah blah blah. This particular version in a few seconds is going to be automatically spin up for you. It can be done even pull request. If you create a pull request and somebody create a pull request, you can ask it. It's going to be merged, and you can be able to click and test this test. So we're trying to invest a lot of automation, and you can realize we spend a lot of efforts and also money to keep it running, to make sure experience for contributors and developers easy. Also, we have internal issues, right? We're trying also expose. We're trying to make sure if there is pull request or issue created in GitHub, it reflects our internal tools. And also if internal team fix it, community, we are aware in this ticket going to be closed. So we do a lot of synchronization stuff. And basically trying to make sure the work we accept is high quality, and also developers has high quality working with us. We also launched a community portal, opensource.magento.com. If you've never been, go there. It's a list all active projects, all contributors, and stats of these contributors and maintainers. You just basically can see who most active on this project, who create pull requests this quarter, week, months. And Speaking of quality, we do invest in Magento functional testing framework. And we have Lucas here, our promoter from Strix in Poland. He's going to every event explaining what benefits to write this test. And we also put a lot of efforts in automation for developers. One of them, we have heap test, and this example of heap test is test scenarios for MSI project, which listed in, how many have scenarios, how many of those automated, and how many require automation. And it's not only like listing of this, right? We start thinking, oh, run functional test is very expensive, and if you're working on a laptop, it's going to take a day for you to launch it, right? I mean, laptop goes faster, but we have also more complex cases, and we're trying to figure out how we can make sure automation allow to you as a developer, community developer, create pull requests, run all these tests on some third-party instance. Don't worry yourself about how to configure, and just get results. And we deliver it. So, and we have the ability to test with different combinations. And as a result, with recent feature, GitHub launch, GitHub apps, what happens as soon as you create pull request, we package it, send to our environment. We run all possible suite of tests. And as soon as results ready, we send it back in a free bucket, and you can easily download. And as you see here, like functional test example, you can see, oh, what's the results here. So we basically remove you, and at some point you can develop a notepad and online. You don't need already any environment because we take care about those environments. And also, to make more visualized, not going through hundreds of lines of code, we launch a Lure report. So right now you can see all this example with tests where failed, with scenarios which failed. So as you can see, we're trying to, and that's everything what we learn from community developers when we're talking during the contribution days, during online, what they need, and we're trying to put and invest. And believe me, the number of pull requests coming every day, number of windows that we spin up and run, it's tremendous. We have huge infrastructure behind in AWS running all the tests non-stop, and have a lot of people stand up, just serve community engineering team, and all pull requests and issues going. Quickly on Marketplace. So we're not talking about developers who work in Magento, right? Marketplace is a significant part of our ecosystem, and we have a lot of developers there. We have people who are making money, making business do this. And we're trying to improve. And for example, some stats, we have every month about 800 extensions updated, new extensions, work submitted. So we have, again, huge infrastructure, people around trying to validate, help, and provide feedback. We have 350 new developers and just registered and start publish extension only this year. So it's a pretty good number, right? We have people think about every day new developer join us and start, create every new extension, new capabilities, new business case for Magento. And it's going about 60 new extensions per month if from this developer. So we have a lot of efforts, a lot of infrastructure that, and we keep investing. We keep trying to evolve Marketplace. We listen feedback. It was a lot of stuff. We continue, to do improvements. Recently, we launched this page builder extensibility label. And Mark, if you're developers, you can say, "Oh, you extend page builder," because we make sure you have, this experience. We make sure our customers and merchants, who use page builder, aware this extension does these changes, and it can be tested additionally. KPI automation, right? MFTF. If you extension developers and submit for Marketplace, we encourage you to start submitting functional tests. We're going to focus in the future to make it mandatory because we won't have customers make sure all extensions, not just written and test all static tests, but functionalities works well. And also we provide cloud, working on cloud Docker, so we want to make sure your extensions work not only for open source, but also Commerce Cloud. And it's a lot of efforts right now about this. We already do a lot of improvements, and soon you're going to see an extension going to be marked like, oh, cloud compatible, or cloud not compatible, not only open source and commerce. And we have other projects, right, extension handlines. So we're trying right now and start scanning all extension to understand, is there, for example, static test? Is there unit test, functional test? Is this test scenarios provided? Is there like feedback? So we're trying to provide highlights for merchants, for customers who buy extensions on quality of the developer. As I mentioned, we're pretty unique ecosystem, and everything what I outline is just, I think, beginning. We're still learning a lot from everyone. We provide new opportunities, and we listen to everyone. And please, if you have some ideas or some feedback on news and other stuff, how you work with community, how Marketplace work for you, find me, talk to me, and as you see, we implemented a lot of stuff, and it's because of you, because this ecosystem. And as Jason mentioned, this picture from 2017, I looks like 12 years younger than him. And it's just because the amount of time we spend, talking, listening, and it's, we really appreciate it. But that's how community looks. There's happy faces, people who, meet, who share opinion, who learn from each other. And that's what makes us all great and make, Magento and ecosystem be a great place to be in together. I'm done. Thank you.